Right, we here at the last topic, but I know I just finished talking about the Russell Brand situation. I was doing a little bit more research, and I'm going to say my thoughts about this, and then I'll get into the actual last topic. All right. So as I was doing more research, apparently a couple days ago, he was doing an interview with somebody, and he pretty much said that he is going to support Trump. So again, people can say he is now trying to do the Christian grift thing, trying to get that base on his side, especially the ones who vote for Trump. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on that. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna keep an eye on all of that. But it does look fishy. But we're not here to continue to talk about Russell Brand. We're here to talk about Stephen A. Smith, another guy who hopefully y'all don't hear that music. It's, I probably gotta. I didn't want to do it, but I had to shut the window down. Hopefully y'all don't hear that music. Uh, God. Anyways, another man who's doing a lot of talking now. Stephen A. This is something hanging from my golly. Hopefully the YouTube. Man, this video is disgusting. Anyways, I hope y'all can't hear that music, honestly. I might have to stop this, to be honest with you, and then wait until they stop playing that music to record this. Oh, okay. So Stephen A. Smith came out and did what he always does, right? He thinks that he can speak for an entire community, and he thinks his word is the end all be all. And he went on his podcast and he pretty much talked about how he knew he was going to get the views for this. He knows what he's doing at the end of the day. But I know what I'm doing at the end of the day, other than sharing my opinion. I know that talking about Stephen A. Smith is going to get, you know, possible views as well. So, aha. Anyways, um, he pretty much came out on his podcast and said that Will Smith owes the black community an explanation for his actions 2 years ago, by the way, when he slapped Chris Rock at the Grammys. As a black person who is of the black community and actually loves the community and prides himself of being within the black community, I can tell you right now, Will Smith doesn't owe me or the rest. I don't know who the hell is this calling. It's Sunday and I'm doing my podcast. But Stephen A don't owe any of us an explanation. He don't even owe you. Now he kept prefacing it by he needs to sit down with somebody, which he pretty much meant he needs to sit down with me and tell me why. If you feel as though Will Smith owes you an explanation, say that. Stand on your square. Be the man. Be the outspoken man that you claim to be all the time, Stephen A. Stand on your square and say, Will Smith, I still haven't forgiven you for slapping Chris Rock. I'm the company man. You know what I'm saying? I still haven't forgiven you for embarrassing black people in front of all those white people, acting up in front of all those white people. And I want you to come on my show, the Stephen A. Smith Show, and talk to me about it. Instead of he owes the black community an apology, and he needs to talk to somebody about it. No, get out of here. Like I said in the last time I talked about Stephen A., I see right through the dude. His little fans and all these other people can come out and try to defend him. He's very easy to read, except for the dick riders who dick all in their mouths, so they can't read at the moment. They can't see it and nothing but cock and balls. But you know, other than all of that, I can see right through him. He don't. Will Smith doesn't owe the black community an explanation on anything. What was done was done. It was 2 years ago. Chris Rock ain't saying anything. Well, he made comments about it, like jokes about it, but that's it. It's a one and done situation. I highly doubt that Will Smith will ever do something like that ever again to anybody, not even just Chris Rock, but ever again, or at least not on a stage like the Grammys, not anywhere where there's cameras rolling. So I think it's safe to say it's a one and done situation. It's a situation that he's not going to come out on his Bad Boys 4, right? His Bad Boys 4 um promo tour that he's doing and say, "Hey guys, I'm going to take a brief moment to talk about the thing that I did 2 years ago." No, he's going to talk about the movie. He's going to talk about the movie he's got out right now, and clearly it's doing so well that a lot of the black community especially don't feel the way that you feel. So don't say that you owe the black community explanation when that same community went out in droves to support him. Now, I haven't seen the movie yet, not because, oh my God, it was so terrifying. It's because I plan to go watch it on my birthday in August when the movie tickets might be cheaper. I don't know, but that's my plan. And that's my plan. I didn't see it opening night. I'm not seeing it anytime soon, but just like last year, I went to the movies on my birthday or around my birthday, and so I'm doing the same thing. I usually treat myself to a movie. The weather is nice, go out to the beach, then go out to get something to eat. That's how I enjoy my birthdays. I don't care. A real beach, by the way, not a virtual beach on a Zoom call or whatever, right? A real actual beach. It may not be as beautiful as the one behind me, but damn it, it's a beach. So yeah, I go out and I do that. But that was my plan. So I'm still going to eventually watch it. Um, and if I were to do a review on it, it's not going to be on here. It's going to be on the blog I was telling y'all about last week. All right, when I finally published to that dang blog. But nonetheless, Stephen A. talking out your neck again. And then when things didn't go his way, he did what he always does: backpedal and try to rephrase things or say that we got his comments misconstrued. Nobody got it misconstrued, dude. You said what you said. I don't know why people pay attention to dude. Like I said, the only things that I pay attention to Stephen A for is his sports takes. That's it. I don't want to hear him talk about anything else. But if he is and he did some goofy and I got something to say about it, I'm gonna say something about it. Most definitely. So yeah. I'm gonna end this video here though. I'm gonna end this episode here because I hope that the music isn't glaring. I'm gonna listen back and hopefully the music isn't glaring over this. Because if it is, then I'm gonna have to re-record it, and that sucks because a nigga just trying to relax for the rest of the night, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just trying to relax for the rest of the night. Um, Answer these messages or whatever, but whatever, man. This has been another episode of the Earnest Thoughts Podcast with your host, Ernest, where you love Ernest. Thanks for the support for those who are watching. And thanks for the support for those who are listening. I do have to remind y'all, just like I've been reminding the My Two Cents listeners out there, the audio listeners, I do have to remind y'all that after July 9th, when these changes come into full effect, I will no longer be doing audio episodes. All the episodes of the Earnest Thoughts, both my podcasts, but this is the Earnest Thoughts, all the episodes of the Earnest Thoughts podcast will continue to just be video episodes going forward. I will still keep the Patreon for sure for the exclusive episodes, but that's always been the case since, for audio and video watchers. But yeah, I feel the need to remind y'all about that. So if you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, already, you want to stay up to date to the Earnest Thoughts podcast, subscribe to the Earnest Thoughts podcast right now. The difference between this podcast and the My Two Cents podcast, other than the obvious differences, is I won't start uploading material to the My Two Cents podcast YouTube channel until July 9th hits. They're going to continue being an audio only podcast from now until July 9th. But this podcast will continue to be both audio and visual from now until July 9th. But once July 9th hits, it's just going to be visual. Now you can treat it as audio, as have me in the background while you do other things. That's cool. As long as you listening to the podcast, you click on the video. I don't care how you consume. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? But just to give y'all that warning, because that's the thing. If something changes, I will let you know. But as far as I know right now, the changes are not going to go in my favor. Therefore, I have to make the appropriate changes. I feel as though it's going to continue to have me make it so that I can continue to do this podcast and put it out freely. Because like I said, there are other platforms that I can put this out on, this and the My Two Cents podcast out on. But this other platform is not a free platform at all. Now, push comes to shove, like I said, I if I have to do that and people do have to pay for it, it really depends on if you want to pay for it or not. But I want to keep it as free. This has been a podcast for 7 years now, free for 7 years. I want to keep it free, for the most part, at least. Exclusive stuff, again, will always be behind the paywall. But I want to keep the podcast for the most part accessibly and free. So I'm going to a platform like YouTube, and I'm not putting it behind paywalls and stuff. But again, you know, things change, things change. If they don't, they don't. But letting you know, check out the YouTube in the description box below. All right. You can also check out the other links down there as well that can help support me. I'm going to redo the merch once again. I am wearing my Two Cents podcast shirt, by the way. You know what I'm saying, for the video watchers out there. But I am going to redo the merch because, again, the merch has on the back of the shirt has all the audio podcast platforms where one could listen to the podcast. But obviously, that's not going to be a thing anymore, or at least not any updated episodes. As I've stated, and I'm going to talk about this soon in July, actually, once July hits, so in a couple of weeks. But I'm going to say here, because I already said it at the My Two Cents podcast. Once I make the transition, the audio, I'm gonna keep these episodes up as far as the podcast stuff, the audio podcast. But newer episodes are gonna be on YouTube. YouTube only, and then of course Patreon for the exclusive ones. They're not going to be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Castbots, Fountain, or Good Pods. None of the newer episodes are going to be there anymore, unless something changes. Unless there's a way where I can upload on those places for free, and I don't have to pay some weird site that partners with Spotify who has enough money to actually pay for subscriptions for Riverside, and they don't want people to do that. So no. But the old episodes will still be there. The ones that are being recorded right now, as of now, will still be there. I'm not going to delete the podcast. It's still going to be up. But again, updated episodes are going to be on the YouTube channel. And I will have that have announcements be the last official audio uploads for both this and the My Two Cents podcast. So if anybody were to go on the audio podcast, that will be the most recent and last audio only upload for these two podcasts. It's telling y'all to go over to the YouTube channel and to get the updated episodes. Again, just letting y'all know, just so no one's blindsided and saying you didn't tell me and da 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 da. You wasn't paying attention. Warnings are there. Check the description box below. I'm saying it now. I'm gonna continue saying this from this episode going forward up until the last episode that I do, whatever that episode is, whatever that Monday is before July 9th. I think July 9th is a Sunday. And I could be mistaken. Um, all this noise outside is crazy. It's crazy. Anyways, let me wrap this up by saying thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hit the links in the description box below. Thank you kindly. Until next time, until next episode. I would do my usual outro, but I think the music is playing in the background. Hopefully not. You can't hear it. And I don't want it to be any longer than it has to be. So until next time, until next episode, you hear from me when you hear from me. Peace out.